Good afternoon from Two Happy Children Farm. We're doing our next tissue test. I'm here in the low yielding part of the field, and we're going to pull samples here. Last week we did our tissue tests, and the good news was our phosphorus and nitrogen stayed good, and the other good news was our potassium didn't decrease anymore, so at least our plants were taking in as much as they needed for the last week or so. However, right now we're getting dry. It's been 10 days since a rain, and before that it was 3 weeks before that rain. So things are getting dry. One good thing about getting out here every week is you can see what's going on. Looks like I have corn borers or something going here, and I'm seeing that a little more over in this part of the field. The other thing I'm noticing is I think this year our plants are going to be short, so maybe head high, including the tassel, maybe a little higher, and I think that's just because we've been so dry. There's nothing to work with to build the plants like the last couple years, and I'm seeing that across the county. Corn is tasseling and it is barely shoulder high, so that's what we're getting this year. Leaf color looks excellent, and even though we've been deficient on our tissue tests, it's hard to find any potassium shortages on the leaves. So that's just another thing to show you that if you're seeing shortages, you're really in trouble. I know I'm in trouble, but I still can't visually see them. So we're going to pull 16 leaves here and then move on to the high yielding area. Another spot of the field this week where I'm doing some research. My main farm is planted at 109-day variety. I'm doing 102 on a strip test, and this is a 115-day strip test. And also in this strip is where I did a double application of potash last year. I don't know if you can see the difference from the video of the low yielding versus this part, but it looks like to me there's just a lot more plant here. You could really feel it walking through. You're getting whacked a lot more. And then looking down at the canopy, we have really nice shading going on down here. And then looking down at the lower leaves, just like the low yielding area, we don't see any potassium shortage as of right now. Nice thick stalks, and I think the same as the other parts of the field, this is going to be a short corn this year. This is on 30,000 population. My low yielding is on 26. It's because I was anticipating that it's kind of a rough go, so I wasn't pushing it. So this week I'm going to take some tissue tests here so that I can document if there's any difference in getting that double potassium rate out. Like I said, it's been dry for 10 days, and then ahead of that we were dry for 3 weeks. There hasn't been a lot of opportunity to get potassium into these plants. So we'll take a test and then move on. Alright, so now we're in the high yielding section of the farm, and this is the different plant, the 109-day variety. Looking good over here. And if you think about it, the samples I'm taking either last week or this week are most likely the ear leaf, which is feeding the kernels after pollination. So you want to have that ear leaf full of nutrition going into the fill time. And I guess the good news this year is at around 700 heat units, I can't explain why, but all my micronutrients and all my phosphorus and nitrogen levels both increased. And it might be because I have a different zinc program this year. I've kept that well above sufficient. It could be the side dressing of the phosphorus, which had taken place 10 days earlier, or 20 days earlier, or it could be the quadris at V5, which took place 10 days earlier, and maybe that gave the roots a kickstart. I don't know. But going into pollination, my ear leaf has got 4.4 on the phosphorus and over 4% on nitrogen, and all the micronutrients are above sufficient. So we'll see if that helps. I've never had that before. And again, at this time of sampling, maybe last week or this week, was where I was taking the ear leaf. Again, we're in this area looking at the lower leaves. There might be a little potassium deficiency down here. Here there is definitely. So again, 30,000 population. I was deficient last week, but I was able to keep the previous week's value, so at least the plant took in as much as it was using. And that's what we got from the field this week. We'll give another update next week. Thank you.